MSNBC's Joe Scarborough isn't buying the severity of the information revealed in this week's Senate report on torture in the CIA. He thinks it's not such a big deal. Let's listen.
We profiled this one case where we brought in this guy from Tora Bora and we presumed that he actually wasn't a high-value detainee. And what did we do? We did sleep deprivation for 56 hours. They then concluded that he probably had been set up by an enemy of his family, said that he should be released back to his home with money. And what did they do? Instead of releasing him back home, they actually kept him locked up for 4 years. This is the stuff that's in this report.
Okay, and Sam,
and there's a value to knowing this.
Okay, Sam, you hear that horror story, you don't hear the other 10 or 20 or 30 stories where they have to make judgments in real time. If we went back to World War II and we dissected everything that American generals did, I promise you, if you give me $40 million, I could pick any general and I could turn them into a war criminal. Give me $40 million, give me the Democratic staff, give me the intel in real time. I could turn Dwight Eisenhower, I could turn General Marshall, I could turn Winston Churchill, I could turn any of them into war criminals.
The Republicans and the Joe Scarboroughs of the world are saying, no, we're for torture.
Yeah,
we saw the report. And he said, yeah, that's the downside. He said it right there. He said, yeah, that horror story is the downside. Now, if you haven't seen all the details, and by the way, let's call it what it is. We anally rape a lot of those detainees. Yeah. They're calling it rectal hydration and then rectal feeding, but they didn't need it. The doctor said they don't need it. It's not like it was born out of medical necessity.
They were already eating.
Right, yeah. And they said in the memos, the CIA did, that they put in hoses that were as big as possible. They anally raped these people. If that's not torture, okay, right? And then they would punch them and they would slap them and they would keep them up for 180 hours. You don't know what kind of torture that is, okay? They would do what is called a Palestinian hanging, where they would hang them from the ceiling by their arms, right? One guy died because of the torture. I mean, it doesn't, if this isn't torture, but the thing is, they're not saying it isn't torture. They're saying it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, but really fast, he's not just saying he's for torture. He's saying in that clip, he's for torture of people we know to be innocent.
Yes,
that's the critical thing, is that as much as Republicans are going to argue, these guys are terrorists, a lot of the people we tortured were completely innocent people. And it's the problem with a police state is police states are generally incompetent, and they don't know what they're doing, and they get the wrong people. And that's what we did. We tortured a lot of the wrong people.
Now you know where everybody stands. Marco Rubio said, hey, listen, we should be applauding the CIA men who were protecting us after 9/11. But we already know what they did. As to Wes's point, we know that 26 out of the 119 detainees that they did this to were innocent. It's not us saying it, it's not Amnesty International saying it, it's the CIA saying it. The CIA said, yeah, they were innocent. Oops, we raped them, we did mock executions, we put them in coffins and told them we were going to kill them. We told them that we were going to rape their mothers and kill their children. Okay, and this is the stuff that the Bush administration would call evil, right? When Saddam Hussein did this, we invaded him because of it.
Yeah. That was the thing that we were supposed to be against. That's why we went into Saddam. And before we went into Iraq, George Bush famously gave the speech saying that, war criminals, you will be prosecuted. We will find you. Remember he gave that speech?
That's right.
So here we are.
We found him in our own backyard.
It took a born-again Christian who worships a guy nailed and hung on a cross to teach us that torture is actually a moral thing to do.